welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie and I am the host of Fantasy Knits, a traveling knitter. Pardon my voice, I lost it this weekend. I was actually gonna film on Sunday, but it was completely shot. And part of my job is to talk on the phone. I don't answer calls. I just do like long training sessions. So I end up talking a lot and I needed my voice back today, well this week in general. I don't have a lot of stuff to work. I don't have a lot of phone calls this week because I am going to Rhinebeck, so vacation. But I did want my voice to come back as soon as possible so that I can do my job. But yeah, so that's why I did not podcast on Sunday. The reason for my voice being as it is, I'm not sick. I went to Cedar Point. So for those of you who don't know what Cedar Point is, it is an awesome amusement park, theme park, roller coaster park in Sandusky, Ohio, which is north. It's up by Lake Erie. It's actually on a peninsula island thing that is on the lake. It's amazing, and I'll talk about that at the end, but that is why my voice sounds very froggy. It's actually a lot better today than it was yesterday. It's a lot better than this morning, too. I tried not to talk a lot today. Alright, so I have been bad. You know how I made that promise that I wouldn't buy yarn? I'm gonna move the camera to show you. Yeah. Oops. It just got out of control. I don't know what happened. So yeah, I figured I need to do a podcast before I go to Rhinebeck this week. It's Monday, October 16th. Hopefully this video isn't too long, but with that amount of haul, it will be long. And I don't know what it is, but it literally takes more than 24 hours to upload a video that is 50 minutes or longer. I mean, and it's not like I don't pay for my internet bill is $60 a month. I don't know what I'm paying for, because that's ridiculous, but side rant. All right. Finished quests. So I do have something that I'm going to consider finished, and that is these socks. Woohoo! No, I did not get them finished in the month of September. So kind of a bitter party. I had this whole sock done, and I had this whole sock down to the heel. And when I separated for the heel, I realized I had too many stitches. Like a lot too many stitches. I don't know what I was thinking, but I cast on 72. That's how many, wait, 74. I cast on 74? 64? 72. I want to say I cast on 72. I'm not going to count. Whatever. I cast on whatever I wanted to cast on for this, and I don't know what happened on the second sock. Like, I was probably 10 stitches more. And the funny thing is, while I'm knitting the second sock, I'm thinking the whole time, oh, these are really loose. Were the first ones this loose? Maybe? I don't know. They seem really loose. I don't know why I didn't count. Like, what was stopping me? And then when I held them up together and I was like, oh my, here, I'll kind of demonstrate. It was probably like this much bigger. I don't know what I was doing, not even bothering to look. So yeah, I would have been able to finish these because I was at the heel and I had a whole day to finish. Like, I had set aside the whole day to knit. And then I realized I had to undo the whole thing and threw in the towel. And I was like, nope, it's not happening. It's not happening. I guess I can knit something else instead. So yeah, if this year has taught me one thing, it's that I don't like knitting socks in a month. I don't like it. I need a bigger or a longer deadline. I don't like it, because then it ends up being the socks are the only thing I knit. But either way, dang it, the tag is in my bedroom. But I do remember these are Ella Rae is the sock. It did not have a colorway, but I thought these they looked like fall leaves. Because you have the orange in there. So you have orange, green, golden, yellow. It's so beautiful, and it didn't pool, at least it doesn't look like it pooled. I feel like the camera picks up on the pooling before I do. Like with the Farmer McGregor socks, when I held them up, I was like, oh, there's a swirl in there. Like, I don't see that if I'm looking at it. So I think that's kind of interesting. This is, what is the pattern? Let me look that up real quick. These are the Petty Harbor socks by Raina Curtis. It is a free pattern on Ravelry, so I don't feel bad about kind of talking about it. It's super easy. The stitch definition is really nice. It's a 4 row repeat, and you knit one row, knit one row, knit purl the next row, knit the row, knit 3, purl 1. You don't necessarily start with a knit, but I think you get the idea. That's the sequence. I did a 1x1 rib for, I don't know, 20, 18, 15, something like that. I did a heel flap and gusset, just like the pattern suggested, and then a rounded toe. I actually made it shorter, like stubbier than I normally do, because the pattern said to do that. And I think I like it better stubbier. I don't know, I thought it looked really nice. So yep, these are my socks. I just have to weave in the tops. I actually wove in the toes already, so I'm done, basically done with those. Really like that. Those are gonna go into my box of socks, and I think that is my 6th pair. Alright, so that is the only knitted finished object I have for you, but I'm so excited for this. Check this guy out. Right? Right? So, backstory on this. When I was in college, I found this website, and I can't find it now. I don't know if they shut it down or something, but it was definitely very like late 90s, early 2000s forum style, and it was just a bunch of people talking about cross stitch, and you could ask people to chart pictures for you. I don't really know about copyright laws in that, but this was just like drawn by somebody, and they got it charted. And I saw a couple people cross stitch it, and I thought, that is adorable. There's not a lot of colors. I could totally do that. So yeah, high school, right? Actually, I think I was a freshman in college, so 9 years ago? That seems like so long. No, it can't be 9. I was a freshman in 2009. Yeah, it's essentially 9 years ago. 8. So, yeah. So I found this pattern. I don't have the name. I printed the pattern off and I was looking at it. I printed it off like years ago. There's no name, there's no ownership for it, so I feel really bad, but it's basically a bunch of Pikachus. Now this Pikachu up here, he's supposed to have balloons. So this was my 2nd ever cross stitch pattern that I kitted myself. Like I bought the Aida, I bought the stuff for. So I just cut the fabric way too small. Like way too small. I couldn't fit the balloons. And you see how, so this black looks like matting. It's actually just cardstock that I cut so that you would not see the frayed edges, because I kid you not, where his tail is, see how I'm kind of covering it? 2 stitches over, it's fraying. That's how close I cut this. I don't know why. I should have honestly shifted this Pikachu a little bit over and I would have been okay. Like, not fine, because I have 3, yeah, I've got 3 or 4 stitches on this tail before it frays. So yeah, but I love the way this came out. Like I said, I started this a long time ago and I pulled it out a couple weeks ago and I was like, I'm finishing this. This is gonna be the Christmas gift that I wanted to give 8 years ago. So I'm in love with it. I think it looks so good. I think my cross stitching is still really good from back then to right now. Yeah, I did it on 14 count Aida, so like really big Aida. I bought this shadow box. It is a shadow box. I found it at Michael's on clearance. So it was like $7 or something. I really like, they had a lot of different colors. I'm kind of tempted to go back, but I'm at the point where I'm having a hard time storing all of this stuff that I find, and I'm like, oh, I could use that later on for something. So they had a lot of colors. They had a really nice gray wood. I really like gray wood, but I think this just turned out so nice, right? So this is a Christmas gift. Yeah, Christmas crafts. I'm super excited for it. And with this gift, this is going to one of my best friends who was in that wedding that I was telling you about. Not the bride, but another bridesmaid. And this completes her Christmas gifts. So I'm 100% done with one of my friends already. So yeah. The only disappointing thing with this is I got to this little Pikachu right here. I had kind of his belly to do, and then I ran out of floss. So I had to go spend 54 cents to do maybe 30 stitches. And when I went into Michael's to spend 54 cents, I ended up walking out spending $75, which I knew was gonna happen. But, so that's why I tried to avoid Michael's. But anyway, yeah, so this guy turned out amazing, right? This is like quest this is quest of October, because I probably won't finish anything cooler than this. I'm really proud of it. I have some patterns, a Mickey, it's like a Mickey, and then there's a bunch of villains, and I think I'm gonna put them in a shadow box. I think that would look really cool. All right, so finished quests. I need to unsteep my tea. It is peach apricot, and isn't this the cutest? He's a little wet from the tea coming down. Actually, I put the mug on top of him, but this is like the tea tag. Isn't that adorable? Honestly, that's why I bought the tea. It was in Columbus, Ohio. They have something called the Night Fair or the Night Market, and it's like a craft show or vending thing at night. And there was a tea place, and they had a bunch of these teas with the cute cardboard things on them, so that's why I bought it. The tea's actually not that bad either. It's pretty good. Not the best tea I've ever had, but the cardboard owl is just so cute. I will put in the down bar, yes, I promise, to put in the down bar the company. Hopefully they still exist, but, because I went a couple years ago. Alright, so yeah, let's talk about what I am currently working on. Ginny. She's not getting done. I just haven't really felt like working on her. This is left front. Yeah? And I am basically done. I just have to do a little bit more shaping, maybe like 2 rows, and then bind off. And yeah, so I don't know if I mentioned it, but I did have to rip back because I realized that I adjusted the back, and I added a lot of rows, and I didn't account for that on this. So I had to kind of rip back and then just keep going. It looks so long. So I hope I didn't F up, but I kind of like held it next to each other and it's the same length. So whatever, I'm basically done with that, and then I got to do the other front, and then I got to do the sleeves. Let's just hope I get it done to wear in winter, because today is like the first day that it is really cold. Yeah, it's gonna get in the mid 40s tonight. So I had my windows open last night. I actually keep my windows open when it gets a little cooler, and it got too cold. I had to close them. So that's crazy, right? It was 77 on Saturday and it's gonna get to 45 tonight. That's kind of ridiculous. All right, so yeah, Ginny, that is a pattern. It's a pattern by Kim Hargreaves. It is in Amber, A Winter's Gathering. She's a British designer who worked primarily with Rowan. I feel like there was some sort of thing about Rowan discontinuing a bunch of yarns and then people got mad, but I don't really follow that because I actually don't really use Rowan yarns. It's kind of expensive here. I know a lot of people say Rowan is not that expensive, but I think it is kind of expensive for 50 grams. And it's not an indie dyed yarn, so. All right, let's talk about the socks. So I've got two pairs and you may remember both of them. I'll just talk about this one first. This is in the first ever bag I sewed for myself, and I actually super glued the zipper part because I did not understand. I was testing it out. So I sewed over the zipper on this side and then I lifted the pedal up over the zipper on this one because I didn't know which way to do it. You sew over. Because if you don't, the zipper doesn't stay and you gotta super glue it, like I did. Well, lesson learned. All right, so these are my trench coat socks. Let me pull them out. I am knitting them concurrently, meaning at the same time, on my 9-inch circular Hiya Sharps. And this is where they are at. So this one, right there, and then this one is a smidge longer. So this is the one I was working on today. So I'm just at the brown. I can't wait for the red part. So black, white, black. I need to do a white and then a black and then a little bit of brown. They'll be at the same length. So I'm kind of not sure what heels I'm gonna put in here. I'll be honest, the heel flap and gusset just fits my foot better. I've made two Fish Lips Kiss heels, and then all the other ones have been heel flap and gusset, and I like the heel flap and gusset better. I also like knitting it better, to be honest. I kind of didn't like knitting the Fish Lips Kiss heel, but I might do an afterthought heel, but the afterthought heel looks like the same as the Fish Lips Kiss heel. I mean, I know they're not the same, but it looks very similar in amount of cloth and like space for my foot. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna like the feel of it. I don't know. I don't like how heel flap and gussets look with striped socks. So I'm probably gonna do an afterthought heel or a Fish Lips Kiss heel. I'm not quite sure. I've never done an afterthought heel and I've never done a true afterthought heel. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I will do a true afterthought and just knit and then do the toe. So I'm not 100%. I do really like though that the balls are already separate for me. So this is, are you kidding me? I didn't put this, I didn't put the skein tag in here. What am I doing with my life? This is Turtle Pearl yarn in her sock something. I don't know where the tag is. I have two other colorways of her, so I'll be right back. Okay, and I talked about Turtle Pearl in my last episode, so this is probably all a repeat. But Turtle Pearl yarns, striped turtle toes. This is what the banner yarn ribbon would look like. It is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 450 yards, and she is turtlepearl.etsy.com. So yeah, I like that you get a little too. I really like that. Or pre-split for me, and she did a good job, and it really did start in the exact same spot. I didn't have to think at all. Yeah. Second one, I'm really excited for these, this is going to be my Clark socks. So, I know I just prefaced the whole sock thing with I can't knit socks in 1 month. I'm going to try. So these are going to be my Clark socks. I talked about this yarn, I think. Oh my, where the hell are my ball bands? Oh wait, I think this one's on this table. It's like I'm so scattered. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I lost it because I have more yarn on there than I'm supposed to. This is Toad Hollow Yarns, hand-dyed yarns in Keyport, New Jersey. And it is on their Drusilla base, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 400 yards in the Warrior Princess colorway, which I really like. So this is their label. It's so cute. I love the drawing on here. If you remember back in the spring? No, it was before Easter. I participated in the Notorious swap, and my partner was Mary Beth, one of the dyers behind Toad Hollow Yarns, and she had sent me this lovely skein of their hand-dyed yarn in the Warrior Princess colorway. It's so pretty. Like, this is so a color I would have picked myself. It's purples, gold, gray, and the purple is, it's a pink purple, like a light fuchsia. Big fan. So again, the colorway is Warrior Princess, which Halloween, I haven't gone as a Warrior Princess. I went as like a runaway princess one time because I really wanted a cape, but I still wanted to be a princess. So I just made up my own costume. Which is kind of where I'm going with this. I think Warrior Princess is, one, a great costume because you can be a princess and still be fierce like a warrior. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I actually just got to the last round of my cuff, so I will be starting the leg. I am knitting these on my ChiaoGoo red lace because my other Addi Rockets are still on those gloves that I started, in the spring? Just haven't felt like knitting those. Once I saw that I wasn't doing color work and that I'd have to double, what is that? Knitting on top of it. Like just stitching over the stitches. I kind of was not excited about that pattern. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about these though, really happy. I'm torn with if I want to do heels and toes a different color. I think it would be awesome to do a gold, so I need to check if I have gold. But if not, I'm probably just going to do it all one color because those last socks turned out really nice, I thought. So yeah, here's my other pair. These are the ones that I started in October and I hope to finish in October. Like I say every podcast with that month's sock, and I never actually accomplish it. Kind of something different about how I start my socks. I actually always start my socks on double pointed needles. These are the Haya Haya steel double pointed needles, and they're US size 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter, and these are 6 inches. I always start on double pointed needles. I don't know, maybe I'm not doing it right, but whenever I try to start in the round on magic loop, my side seam where you connect them always is too, like there's a large gap. Yes, I could stitch over it with my end, but I don't want to. And when I do it with double pointed needles, I don't have that problem. So I don't know, am I doing something wrong? Maybe. I also have like a weird way of how I connect in the round. I don't know if I read this somewhere, but to me it works perfectly. So I'll explain it. Alright, so let's say I am casting on in the round and I want 72 stitches. I think that would be 18 stitches per needle. Let's double check before I joke. Yes, so 72 stitches on my double pointed needles equals 18 stitches, but on my last needle, my fourth needle, I will actually cast on 19 stitches, because when I join in the round, if I'm gonna do knit purl 1 by 1 or 2 by 2, my first is gonna be a knit. I'm gonna knit that first one, put it onto my needle, and then the last stitch on that needle, I'm gonna pull it over. So I'm gonna drop the stitch but pull it over my right, gosh, am I explaining this right? Hopefully you get this. So I've got still my 19 stitches on my right hand, 18 stitches on my left hand, and I'm gonna connect them. And I don't use a new needle. I just knit with my working yarn, and then I pull the 19th stitch off of my right needle over, and then I move the stitch that I've knit, the knit stitch, I move that to my new needle, if that makes sense. So essentially I am now back to 72 stitches instead of 73. Weird, maybe everyone else does it and doesn't ever talk about it. I don't know, but that's how I start in the round and it works great. I don't get a gap, I don't get this weird slight ledge where this one's higher than the other and I kind of fix it with stitching. I don't have to do any of that. So yeah, I don't know if that's weird, if anyone else does it like that, or if maybe that helps you. I don't know. The first time I ever knit something in the round was a hat, and it was on like size 8 needles, and when I just did it, I ended up with like a gap like this wide that I had to sew, and I could see the separation. So after that, I've done this forever. Literally since that very first hat that I made, I've always cast on like that. Alright, so the next work in progress is in my Darn Yarn MN bag. Oh, I never talked about this bag, sorry. This is Freckled Whimsy. This is actually the very first project bag I ever purchased. Sadly, it got forever dirtied and I cannot clean it. A face mask of mine, like a latex face mask, broke in my suitcase, and even though it was inside of a plastic bag, like it was in a zippered plastic bag, it seeped through the zipper and got all over my project bag. Not all over, it's just at the top, but you probably can't see that. It's just like, you can feel it. It's hard right here. I have washed it numerous times. I've tried to iron it off as if it was wax. It's not wax. It doesn't work. But yeah, I love this bag still. I still use it clearly. It's so adorable. It has these little foxes, and I absolutely love the contrasting fabric, which is on the inside. So love it. Absolutely love it. I think a skein of yarn in these colors would have been really good too. So yeah, this is my, almost hit my face. This is my Darn Yarn MN Peekaboo. Does she call it a peekaboo bag? But it's got that plastic thing so I can look inside. I really do like being able to look inside, but I still have the opinion that this plastic piece, you know, you can't really fold it, but whatever. This is my second entry into the Brooklyn Knitfolk Hipster Cow, which ends at the end of this month. I am knitting Lattice Bliss by Susie Allen. Here is a picture. And I knit this on the way to Cedar Point, and it looks like I didn't get very far. But here it is. So you can see there's quite a bit of cabling. It's just moving these, if it will focus, there, perfect. These studio lights definitely help with focusing. So it's got these cables. Oh shoot. F. Looking at it, I can see a mistake. Oh my gosh. Ugh. I hate this. No, this is for me. Anguish, anguish. So, if you saw the mistake at the same time that I did, so all of these lines are supposed to, like, they don't go over top of each other. So if you look at the pattern, all the ones leaning one direction are in front, all the others leaning the other direction are behind. I effed up on that right at the beginning. Do you see that? So this is good. Ugh. And then I dropped my needle on the floor. So this is, this one's good, wrong, 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 good, good. This is for me, so it's no longer a work in progress. Gosh darn it! This is not going to be finished. This took me... I'm already frogging it. I'm frogging it on camera. This took me an hour because I did mess up and I had to rip back. F. So now I have to contemplate, am I going to restart it? Yes. I'm going to restart it because I bought this yarn to make that pattern. I'm going to restart it, but it is not going to be a BK Hipster entry. I'm not going to be, no. This is just a little bit too time consuming to get done in, what, 2 weeks? No. Ugh. Okay. So that was a bit of a disappointment. I had a whip to show you, or a quest, and there it goes. Alright, I will continue ripping that out at a later time. The yarn is Heartland by Lion Brand. It is in the Yosemite colorway, which is color 135, and it is 251 yards, made in the US, 100% acrylic. So it's really soft. I like it. And I was using a cable needle. I actually really enjoy cable needles. This is a bright lime green one, and it's probably, I don't know, it came in a pack with 2 others in different sizes. I did an internship at a yarn store and I got a discount and I bought those cable needles because I needed them. Not that you probably cared. Okay, so those are all of my continuing quests for knitting. Yes, for knitting. Because I have really been cross-stitching. I have always liked cross-stitching, but ever since I discovered, just like with knitting and YouTube, I discovered that something called FlossTube exists. So I've really enjoyed watching FlossTube. I tend to watch FlossTube at work because I don't... With knitting, I like to knit and really watch and see everything they're showing me, whereas with FlossTube, it's just nice to just listen to, and then if they you know, they show me the pattern and then I look at it, and if I like it, I write it down. If I don't, you know, I'm good to go. I don't really have to do much else. So I enjoy listening to it at work, especially now that I have really good signal. So yeah, I finished the one that I've really been working on, but I started Christmas stitching, Christmas crafting. I started this guy. It is called American Heritage Series from Creative Keepsakes, the state of Texas. Now, I can't... This is what the pattern looks like. It is clearly the state of Texas, and it's got the state flag, the year that it became a state, I believe. Oh my god, if that's wrong, I'm ashamed of myself, but I'm pretty sure that's the year it became a state. But all 50 states are available. Maybe I could, oh no, it's from 1987. Maybe I could find Ohio. That'd be cute. My mom might like that. So yeah, my mom actually bought this for me at a yard sale. The neighborhood I used to live in had a group garage sale, and it was a pretty big deal. My neighbor, my mom found this cross stitch pattern for like $2, and it's actually a kit, and I don't know if anyone ever stitched it. It's hard to, I don't think anyone ever did. It came with the floss. Floss isn't that great, but that's okay. And this is what I have so far. I just have the outline of the state of Texas. So I've got a little bit more to go over here and then come down, come back. So I'll have the outline done. So I hope, maybe I'll even have it done by the next podcast. Now, this is also like 14 count Aida. This is just what came with the project. It's very defined seams. Hopefully I can iron that out. Honestly, I probably will not be able to iron it out. Now that I've been sewing a bit more, still not a ton, it is very hard to iron out creases, like fold creases. So I don't know. But I don't think my grandma will care. That's who I'm stitching it for. My grandma lives in Texas. And I think that's honestly why my mom bought this, because she knew I like to dabble in cross stitching and thought that maybe I would enjoy to, or maybe I would want to cross stitch this for my grandma. So, yep, that is that. I'm trying not to fold it on that fold line. And okay, so I am still working on the cross stitch for my coworker. So even though I have a needle minder, my stuff still gets stuck in that bag. I need to get a better bag. Stick it on my Harry Potter Expecto Patronum needle minder right there. So yeah, this is how much I have. I really enjoy this Q-snap. I should get more. This is a pattern I've already stitched, and I gave it to my mom. Oh, there it is. It is that. So it's already been shown. It's been seen before. It is a design by Lily and Val, LLC. Here is the actual picture. Yeah, Lily and Val and Design Works Crafts. Also made in the US, and this was a kit. Instead of instead of stitching it with white on black like I did the first time for my mom, I'm stitching on a brown speckly Aida with this really nice burnt orange. And I'm doing it a little bit differently this time. I'm doing the back stitching as I go so that I don't get stuck doing all of the back stitching. Now, I actually didn't really mind doing the back stitching, but it is the second go around, so I thought I would try it a little differently this time. So since I have picked up cross stitching again, I have my oldest cross stitch. This guy. It's supposed to be a cat on a monitor. I don't have the picture of the pattern. I don't have the picture, I just have the actual pattern. It is by Jan Lin, the Jan Lin Corporation. Is there a year? Yes. The design is by Gary Patterson from 2001. It is called the Mouser. So it's a cat on top of a old school computer with a computer mouse, and it's corded. So 2001. And then there's a little tiny mouse peeking out the side. I bought this for my grandma because she loves cats. So I got this for her and then clearly never finished this. I kid you not, I probably got this when I was in middle school. So we're looking over 10 years. Clearly, we're looking at over 15 years. Yeah, over 15 years ago is when I bought this. So I'm thinking after that Texas one, I'll finish this. And then hopefully the Texas one will be for Christmas. And then this one I might do for maybe her birthday or something. So that is that guy. And that's really all I'm working on cross stitch. I still have my mom, the Satsuma Street that I was working on, but I messed up and I had to pick out these right here. And I kind of just haven't felt like pulling it back out. I doubt I will have that finished by Christmas. I definitely want this one finished by Christmas, that Texas one finished. And if I get those two finished, I might pick up the Satsuma one again. Alright, so those are all of my current quests. I'm gonna take a little sip of tea. I'm drinking out of a West Elm owl mug. My best friend, the one who got married, got this for me for Christmas a couple years ago. I love it. It's so cute. And I found a red one that looks very, very, very similar. It was probably like an attempt knockoff of the West Elm one. And I got that one for $4. I don't know how much she spent on the West Elm one, but it's West Elm, so not cheap. So I have like this green one and the red one, and if I put them together for Christmas, they look really cute. Okay, so I've gone through what I'm making, what I finished. Next is Smaug's Trove, and I really don't want to spend a shit ton of time on this. Sorry, I curse. I try to keep it to a minimum, but it happens. Okay, so what do I want to talk about first? Let's talk about what I purchased, or something I purchased. So I made an order with Sugar Tots, and I got a stitch marker and a bag, but she was so nice that she sent me a second stitch marker because she apologized for my package coming or going out in the mail late. She literally shipped it like a day late. You did not have to add another stitch marker just because you're a day late. Dude, I don't care. It's not that big of a deal. We're far enough from Christmas that it wasn't like a Christmas problem. So I got, this is the one that I actually purchased. It is a narwhal. Okay, let's, can I? What if I put a paper up? And then I put the narwhal. Okay, so now there's like this weird shadow. F my life. How do you do this? So there's a narwhal. Oh, he's getting there. He's getting there, but the wrinkles in my hand are causing the problem. How about if I use this sparkly pencil? Nope, can't use a sparkly pencil. Cable needle. What if I hold it up using a cable needle? So I got this goth narwhal, I believe is what he or she was called, and he or she is just a purple narwhal, and he's got a little horn, super cute. And the stitch marker that she gave me, because she was late, I guess, is a Progress Keeper, and it's either a donut or a bagel. I'm really sorry, I'm not quite sure. It's kind of frosted, so I want to say it's a donut. But the coloring, like if you look like this, it could be a bagel. So, depending on what I feel like, it's going to be either bagel or a donut. They're really, really cute. I love the narwhal, and it was a pleasant surprise. I really do enjoy having this stitch marker as well. And I keep that with my backyard fiberwork stitch marker container that has 25 removable black stitch markers. And many more are in here. I've just been storing stitch markers that I travel with. The main thing that I purchased was this bag. I love it. So I don't have any succulents, and honestly I don't plan to buy any succulents, but I really like the colors of it, and this is a really cushiony bag. Like, the interfacing is very cushiony. The inside is just a nice seafoam. It picks up almost on like this color right here, so it's really nice. The zipper is bright pink to match these guys, and then the bottom is a really nice denim. And like I said, it's very soft. Like, if I folded it like this, it's almost like a pillow. Like, look how thick it is. It's really nice. Haven't used it yet, but I cannot wait to use it. So, really pretty. My best friend who got married, she's back from her honeymoon. She went to Iceland. Yes, she went to Iceland. And while she was there, she picked up some yarn for me. Yeah, I'm not gonna know how to pronounce this, so pardon. Mosa Mayonkul Gustaus. It's this guy. I looked it up on the internet. I looked it up on Ravelry, and they tossed out some ideas. There's this really cool hat with like ear flaps for winter that I think that's what these guys are going to be. And it showed using 2 skeins, so that will be perfect. I believe it's a 50-gram skein. Yeah, it's 50 grams. 85 yards each, made in Iceland. There is no color. The shade is 4300. And it is 66% alpaca and 34% Icelandic wool. It's very rustic, but it's actually not really that scratchy. It is a pink to very light pink, and then a deep almost reddish pink right here. So really like that, and I'm pretty excited because it'll be like my Icelandic cat, right? How cool is that? Okay, next up, I'll just kind of go in order with what is on top, not necessarily the order of when I purchased it. Next up, Loft. So this is Brooklyn Tweed Loft in the postcard colorway. I don't know where I first saw this, but this is my favorite color for Brooklyn Tweed. I've always wanted to get postcard. I don't know what I'm gonna knit with it. I bought 4 skeins. I kind of want to make a shawl, so hopefully 4 skeins is enough. Loft is 100% American wool, and it is fingering weight, 50 grams, 275 yards. And I bought mine at Strings Attached, which is a local yarn store in downtown Dayton, which, if I haven't mentioned before, I live in Dayton, Ohio. Not born, not from, I just live here for work. I really like their tags. It's got cute little X's along the top. It's probably blowing it out too much so you can't see it, but it's got X's up here. Yeah, postcard, 4 skeins. I'm gonna make a shawl. What shawl, I don't know. Do I have enough? I don't know because I haven't picked the shawl yet. Next, guys. So when I went to Stitches Midwest, I mentioned that I was missing 3 of my skeins of yarn. I visited my parents 2 weekends ago, and lo and behold, I brought them home. So one of them was Brew City Yarns in the Glow Cloud colorway DK Sparkle. It's in with all the Christmas gifts, so I'm not gonna go get it. But I did also purchase these 2. I am a Disney fanatic. I'm obsessed with Disney. So Brew City Yarns does some really cool Disney colors. And this is Yzma, which is the villain from Emperor's New Groove, which I think is a highly underrated, underwatched Disney movie. When I may have even talked about Emperor's New Groove on my channel before, one of my best friends, the one that I stitched the Pikachu cross stitch for, her and I, when Emperor's New Groove came out, we were obsessed with it. I mean, we probably watched it every time we got together. We loved it, and I still love that movie. I mean, I still watch it. It's right there. I can even see it in my TV stand. Love it. So this is Yzma. It is in their premium draft sock, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 400 yards. And I bought this at Stitches Midwest for $26 because I could see the price right there. And then I also bought Jasmine. Now, this one is on the Lucky Charm, which is 75% merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina, 400 yards, 27 bucks. And you may be wondering, Steph, why didn't you get Belle? I didn't find Belle. I saw Jasmine and I really liked it. And I had both normal Jasmine and sparkle Jasmine, and I really liked the sparkle. Oh, yes, you could see it right there. It's a subtle sparkle, which I like. It's not like overly sparkly. So, yeah, pretty. That's those 2. Next up, I'll go with these guys. Oh! I don't know where I put it. Dang it. I'm not gonna go find it. This is what started the, oh, I can buy yarn. I entered a giveaway and I won for the first time ever. So this is Artemis Yarns. It's an indie dyer in France, and she was doing a giveaway and I entered and I won. So I got to pick up a colorway, and she had 4 to choose from, and I just really liked the yellow. I really, really like the yellow. So this is Demeter. I love her, like, her aesthetic. So, you know, Artemis yarn, Demeter, it's all, like, mythological, but kind of spacey in my mind. Love it. So they're both Demeter. This is her Artemis sock yarn 4-ply fingering, 75-25, 425 meters. And then this is the matching mohair version of it. So it's kid silk mohair lace, 72% kid mohair, 28% silk lace, 420 meters. I am gonna keep these together. I think they will look beautiful together. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna keep them together. Unless I wanna do like a white. Oh no, now I'm changing my mind on camera. So either way, I was so excited to win, so thank you so much. There was also a stitch marker. It is a yellow cupcake. I don't know where it is. It's probably with my other stitch markers over there, or it's on a project. I'm not quite sure. I'm not gonna go digging for it right now. It's 10 o'clock at night and I have to go to work tomorrow, so I'm not gonna go digging. So really pumped for these. I'm so excited to have won a giveaway, and they're beautiful. They're so beautiful. So with the fingering, it's yellow. It's got some specks of pink right here. It's got a little bit of orange, and with the mohair, it's so much more vibrant. So there's the pink, the orange, really bright yellow. It's awesome how the same dyes pick up differently on the different skeins. So that's really cool. Next piece in addition to Smaug's Trove is, yeah. So, last year, Julie of Sweet Sparrow Yarns came out with this colorway. For those of you who follow her or see her yarn, you may know what this is. This is Rudolph and Clarice. This was her Christmas colorway last year, and I loved it. I'm like, I need that. I need it. And it was sold out. So, as soon as she posted the listing for it this year, I bought it. And when you buy one yarn, you gotta buy more. So this is Sweet Sparrow Yarns, Rudolph and Clarice in the Nuthatch. These are all in the Nuthatch base, which is 75/25. 463 yards, and it is fingering. Boop, boop, boop. And it came with a tea attached, which is orange and cinnamon spice. I then purchased I'm a Mouse. Duh. It's from Mean Girl. So I loved the color, and then when I looked at the name, I was like, sold.
What are you? I'm a mouse. Duh.
Yeah, sorry that was blurry, but it's Karen as a mouse. So it's orange, really light grays, and the orange come together really nicely. This is beautiful. So pretty. And then I purchased a kit. So this is I think it's called the Bumblebee Shawl, and it came with 2 skeins of Tea and Cake, which is a very light tan brown with brown speckles into a blush pink. And then the contrasting color is Mother of Pearl, which you will not see on camera. It's white with very, very faint blues, purples, pinks. It's very, very, very faint. Or orange? Yeah, I think it's more orange than pink. So these 2 become a shawl. And it said the shawl was an immediate download. I haven't found it yet. It might be on my PayPal email, which is my college email, and I never go in there because somebody who I don't talk to, not because of this, but they thought it would be funny to sign me up for a bunch of free stuff so that I would get it in the mail, which I did get some of it in the mail. Like, I got Astro Lube in the mail. It was like lube, condoms, crap like that they signed me up for, which caused that email to be destroyed. I pop in there every now and then if I can't find something, but I would say I get maybe 30 emails a day that are not appropriate, so it's destroyed. Can't use that email. Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the I just like spit. Pretty sure it's the Bumblebee Shawl. I just gotta find the pattern and go through that email. Okay, so there is some yarn I purchased at Michael. I'm gonna just go really quick with this. Lionheart. Lion Brand has these shawl in a balls, and they were on sale, and they just recently came out with a sparkle edition. I really like this color. This one's gonna be for me. This one is gonna be for my grandma for Christmas, and then this one will maybe be for me. I don't know. I really like the colors of this as well. It's very neutral, so I could knit it for somebody else. This is going to be the easy half pie or half circle shawl that Lion Brand came out with. It's a free pattern. It's right here. So this is what I'm gonna make, and I'm gonna make it for my grandma for Christmas. So with that cross stitch pattern, I hope to make a shawl for her as well. They are, again, it's shawl in a ball, 58% cotton, 39% acrylic, 3% other fiber. Yeah, great that we went generic there. And then the sparkly one is more cotton, so there's 61% cotton, 34% acrylic, and 5% other. Why couldn't they just say Stellina or something? But whatever. So yep, I got 3 of those. The colors are Moonstone is this sparkly one. Community Coral is this one, even though I don't see any coral. And then this guy is Peaceful Earth, which I definitely can see that. And then I got 2 skeins each of these guys. Chameleon, and this is pretty big, right? So this is Loops and Threads, which is Michael's yarn. Michael's company. 439 yards, 7 ounces, which is 200 grams. And this is in the colorway Orangesicle. So I got 2 of them. It is a single ply, but it's like, maybe it's called, no, it's not single ply, it's 2 ply. But it looks like it's single plied. And yeah, so I got 2 of them. My plan is to make a blanket. I got another one in a different color, and this colorway is called Gooseberry. This is really bright. It's definitely an orangesicle, creamsicle color. This is more toned down. It is gray, white, blue, black. And I'm at that age where a lot of my friends are having babies. So, an old coworker, which I think I mentioned, she is going to have a baby in January. And then another one of my close coworkers recently told me that they're expecting. I'm thinking I want to make sweaters, but I'm also thinking blankets would be really nice. So I got this one for girl, this one for boy or girl, because I think these would work. This one I think the average person would just see this as a girl blanket. So I plan to make a blanket, and then have them as kind of like back burner gifts. So if I don't finish sweaters, that they have blankets, which honestly, a blanket is probably gonna take longer than a sweater, but it's more mindless. So 2 skeins of each color. That is all of my yarn haul. There's more. Halloween, right? So I'm going to go as Little Red Riding Hood after she's been mauled by the wolf. So I bought this cape pattern. Again, I'm brand new to sewing, so I'm just gonna get instructions. So I'm not going to make a cape this long. My plan is to go with image B and cut it. So I ended up purchasing the yardage that they suggested to make the really long one, so that if I mess up, I got all the fabric still. Then I thought, I have this idea of what I want the dress to look like, so I've been kind of looking for it, but in case I don't, I bought a pattern, and I want it to be this one, and I want it to also be this picnic style fabric, but I want it to be a darker blue, so I've got to find that. And then I'm either gonna do blue or white for the sleeves. But that is exactly what I was looking for. Maybe not the ruche part of the sleeve, maybe not that ruching, but I'm honestly gonna follow the pattern to do these. So hopefully it's not easy. It's one of their like vintage patterns. I even like this one too, but this is the one I want to do for my Halloween Halloween costume. And I am gonna have to sit down and do that. I think next week I'm gonna sit down and do the cape. So at least I have the cape done. The last thing to Smaug's Trove is, lastly, I bought a lot of cross-stitch things. So I got a MGC 28 even weave. I got another even weave in mushroom. This is in blank, oh my god, antique white. mushroom. And then I found these linen burlap bread covers. So I think I'd mentioned before that Michael's and Hobby Lobby didn't have bread covers. So I went to the internet and I couldn't find bread covers. Joann's had them all along. They had a really big selection on this stuff. So I bought 2 of them because I already have 2 others. But I thought I'd make one for my mom for Christmas. That's that. And then while I was visiting my parents, I went to Welcome Stitchery in Crystal Lake. And this is the first time my mom had ever really seen cross stitch. So she was really taken in. The first pattern that I saw was by Bent Creek, and it is their Snapper Color, World of Color Snapper series. They only had 4 of the 6, so my mom bought me the 4, and I'll just kind of show them to you. This one is violet, and it's got a little blue or violet squirrel on that tree. Color green is turtles. I mean, look how adorable. Yellow is sunflowers and little ducklings. And then my absolute favorite is orange, because there's a fox on a pumpkin. I mean, you can't get much cuter than that. The 2 I am missing are red, which is a cardinal, and blue, which is a peacock. So we ordered or requested it, so they're gonna get more in. They're gonna call my mom, and then my mom was gonna just go buy them for me. So that's really nice. I actually can't start stitching on it because the first one is a cardinal. I mean, I guess I could start in the middle, but there is a border, and apparently you have to like buy the border, which is kind of annoying. So I'll probably go buy the border. What's really nice about it is, or what's different, is you get the snap and a button, which I thought was really cool. So there's always a button and a snap. The snap is just interesting. Now that I'm looking at it, I guess the border is kind of cool because the border has an animal or something. So the red one has like a ladybug and a mushroom. The yellow one has a bird on top of it. And then there's a phrase that says, "There is not one blade of grass. There is no color in this world that is not intended to make us rejoice." It's cute, but I don't understand the "there is not one blade of grass." Like, what does that matter? It doesn't make sense to me. So I don't know. Maybe I'll take that part out and I'll just say, "There is no color in this world that is not intended to make us rejoice." Yeah, I think I will cut that part out because it doesn't make any sense. The fabric that we found to make that is this Cashel 28 count 13 by 19 Heartland, which is Picture This Plus hand dyed fabric. It's still in the, I'll pull it out. This is what it looks really cool. I'm hoping it's long enough. If it's not, I'll find something else to stitch it on, but I'm hoping that this is long enough for it. But that is what I intend for these guys. That is what I intend for this series. I also got Halloween Sheep by Nikki's Creations Primitives. This is what that looks like. I really liked this this cat on the sheep. I just thought that looked so funny. And that will be stitched on the 28 count natural Cashel. This guy. It's just a nice taupey color. So that is what I got from Welcome Stitchery in Crystal Lake. And that is everything that is for, in addition to Smaug's Trove. That leads us to the last segment of this podcast, a novel idea. And I'm gonna bring up the book that I want to talk about on my phone onto Goodreads app. If you have never heard of the Goodreads website, it's awesome. Check it out. I am on Goodreads and it is amazing. Alright, so this book that I'm recommending is a middle grade book. It's called A Riddle in Ruby and it's by Kent Davis. And it was really cute. So if only it would load. So you have Ruby, the main character, and she's a thief. So she's trained as a thief and a kind of a deception to be able to trick her way into things. And she has spent her life on a boat with her father and the crew, who is basically her family, and something happens to them. So they're boarded and she hides because they tell her to, and then she goes on an adventure trying to save her father. And there's a lot more than just that, but that kind of gives away a lot of the book. So it's really cute. Again, A Riddle in Ruby by Kent Davis. If you're a fast reader, it'll take you a day to read. It's 425 pages, but again, it's middle grade. So large font, large margins. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really cute, and I just got the second book from the library. All right, that is my chapter 10. If I ever even said that on the top of this hour or top of this episode. And that was a doozy. It is 10:15. I'm about ready to go to bed, but I gotta tear all this stuff down, move all this stuff away. And yeah, Rhinebeck is this week. I'm super pumped for it. I've got my plans of what we're doing. My mom and my best friend are coming. We are going to go see Anastasia on Thursday. We're going to go to India Untangled on Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday we will be at Rhinebeck. Sunday we fly home in the evening. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped about it. Super excited to not be working. And yeah, some other things. My best friend did get married. There aren't that many pictures because the photographer has not, the photos aren't ready, and nobody took pictures. Like, normally I'm the one of my friends that takes pictures, and I just didn't. I took a couple, but it was just, you're running around, you're doing so much stuff. So yeah, I might post some pictures at the end of this video just so that you can kind of see it. It was really pretty. It was an outdoor wedding. And then this past weekend, like I said, I was at Cedar Point, which is why my voice is kind of crap. I scream on roller coasters. I scream on rides. So had a lot of fun there, screaming bloody murder with my coworkers. It was a fun time. And the week before that, I visited my parents, like I said, so that I could see my little brother perform in a marching band contest. I used to be in marching band, so went to go see that. I decorated for Halloween. And lastly, I guess I could talk about this, maybe. This is a shawl. This is a cowl that I made out of yarn. I don't even know what this yarn is. It's acrylic. I probably got it at Michael's. I did the pattern on the ball band, and I looked and I never made a Ravelry post for it, so I can't even tell you. I do know that I held the yarn double, and it is a free pattern because, like I said, it's on the ball band. And this is that pattern. So it's just alternating knits and purls, and you move one stitch over so that it kind of does this ladder effect. I think it's one skein. It's either one or two skeins. So yeah, it's pretty thick, keeps me warm, and like I said, it is cold today, so this is what I wore. All right, I am gonna see you guys after Rhinebeck, so peace out. Bye.